we wanna create a foundation in our country for to construct a school for children. Very very needy children, and we contact the mayor over there, and he took us to several areas. But these are the most vulnerable areas. And while we were conducting this tour, to put it in a way, he mentioned that some of those areas and some of the schools have been attacked by some gang members and killed some children. And all of a sudden, all this fear came up, and I was like asking him. Or telling him we would like to construct in a vulnerable area, but we don't want to get target. And he mentioned that what they do is they use these vests so the people from these gangs recognize them and don't kill them. And,
what country is this?
Guatemala.
You live in Guatemala now? Oh my goodness. I'm so happy Guatemala has you.
Yeah,
it's a serious situation, obviously.
It is a very difficult situation. Yeah, and we went to visit those areas, and it's beautiful, and children are very needy, very very needy, and but all of a sudden all this fear, and I was like asking myself, all this fear of dying.
Yes.
And it comes and goes, but I don't want that to stop me from, I don't want to neglect myself or, not taking care of me and my staff and everybody else. But I don't want me to stop. I don't want that fear to prevent me to...
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So it's a balancing. Obviously, fear is not your enemy here. It is a dangerous situation. You know that. That's just intelligent to see that. And there is a great need there. So, this is nothing anybody else could ever tell you what to do.
Exactly. Yeah, and besides that, it's like... underneath that's also this fear of not being good enough for the job, not being...
Well, that's a different story now.
Yeah, underneath that...
Maybe not even good enough to survive. Yeah, that is not your friend.
Exactly, and I found myself, with this soap opera that I have in my head.
It's brainwashing. Brain dirtying, maybe, is the correct term. But that's somehow you have gotten that from that's conditioning. That's the conditioned mind. Fear is something different. That's an instinct that arises. Maybe you go into a mind trip with that. But that I'm not good enough, this is absolutely unnecessary baggage.
Exactly.
So the only way I know of to see through this is to just really experience not being good enough. Just assume, okay, I'm not good enough. Who is good enough? Can you say you're good enough, really? So if you just take this moment and be completely and absolutely not good enough, the conversation is finished. And there's a great discovery in that. What are you feeling as we have this conversation? What are you aware of?
It's like open my solar, my plexus. Yeah, opened.
Opening?
Yeah, and my back also. It was like...
Yeah, so you're not fighting this I'm not good enough. And you're not following it, you're actually meeting it. You're ending the conversation of your ego with your superego. It's like, okay, you're right. I'm not good enough. Huh. It's freedom, isn't it? Then it's not about your being good enough to prove that you are good enough when you know you're absolutely not good enough, because you have the constant refrain of that in your mind stream. It's like, it's finished. No one is good enough. It's a made-up standard. Mm-hmm. You know, we've tried to counter that with our positive conditioning. I'm good enough, I deserve this. In every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You know, it works. It helps. And it's much better than in every day, in every way, I'm getting worse and worse, you know, which is what the conditioning feeds. So it's a shift. It's a shift, and it affects everything. It affects your brain, your body, your circumstances. But as long as you have to do something to counter this I'm not good enough, there's still somewhat of a battle going on. The forces of light and the forces of darkness. When you just say, okay, I call an end to it, you win, I'm not good enough.
Like when you're
yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't have to pretend.
Yes, it's the last thing we would think to do, because we've learned, you know, intelligently you don't want this fear or this thought, I'm not good enough, to keep you from living your life and following the direction of your soul. So the last place we would think to look is just surrender. It's not surrender, it's surrender. Okay, we don't ever have to have that conversation again. I get it, I'm not good enough. Then you get to live your life. You don't need to be good enough. It doesn't take being good enough. That's a false equation. And with that equation, good enough, you gotta have its opposing equation. I'm better than anyone else. Mm-hmm. It's an unnecessary conversation. Then you have this issue of fear, which is perhaps necessary, and your willingness. I mean, you came up here, and you don't think your English is so good, and so I'm not good enough. But you came up here, right? Mm-hmm. Look out here at everyone. In this moment in time, this is your support system. Mm-hmm. And there are people here, I think of Kim, who go into very extreme situations, and where certainly it's impossible for her to cure it all, to fix it all. But nevertheless, there she is. There you are. It's really, I'm in awe of you. Really. You want to build a school and support your staff in that school for these children who are hungry for that. These children who have a chance, who haven't learned that they're good enough or not good enough yet. Who never even have to entertain a question of good enough. It's a false question. Yeah, you want some water? As you are. That's enough. And then the intelligent choices you may make mistakes, of course. Everyone makes mistakes. Grasshoppers make mistakes. Squirrels make mistakes. Bears make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. Plants make mistakes. They go, the wrong way for the light, and poof, they meet concrete. The mistakes are part of the fabric of living life. What do you experience? And this is beautiful, what I see on your face, but I'd love to have words for it if it's possible. You can speak in Spanish if you like.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's like this opening to your love also, to everybody's like support and silence. And it's been grateful. And opening to this feeling of like, in a way, it's not like the egoic I deserve it, but this love that it's good. It's fine to receive it. You know?
Yes, you can receive it as you are. Yes, excellent. Excellent. That's receiving
like
yourself too.
It's like accepting it and
Yes.
accepting me. You know.
That's giving and receiving support to yourself, to everyone, to these kids, to your country,
To my grandchildren.
to your grandchildren. Yes, to unknown children.
I don't know children too.
Yeah. I mentioned Kim also. Sheva has gone into lots of situations, worked with lots of people and young people. And maybe when we start speaking this evening, the silence will end if you choose. I mean, there are many people who will want to stay, or some people who will want to stay in silence. But if you're free to speak to each other. To me, that's a very valuable aspect of our retreat, where we come out of our social silence and actually can have conversations with each other in the context of satsang. So if you're around, maybe you can speak to them, because then that's a support group that really appreciates the particular situation you're in. It's not abstract. It's like, oh, yes, I'm here for you. This is how you can protect your children, your staff. And ultimately, of course, it's out of your hands. Good? It looks really good. I'm really happy to meet
Thank you. Thank you, Gangaji.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
It's quite often that the issue or the conditioning of not good enough or absolute worthlessness comes up in these meetings, because it was a control factor at some point. You know, we talk about how we're enslaved to the mind, and that's one of the prods that becomes automatic. And if you think of getting out of line, or you think of going where you've been told you can't go, or think what you've been told you shouldn't think, is buzz. Oh, okay, I'm going to work on being good enough now. Someday I'll be worth something. So it's the invitation is to recognize that there may be a sting to that. It may hurt, but it can't touch you. Really, you've incorporated, internalized the prod of being told you aren't good enough, or you're absolutely worthless, and you've had to practice that. It's like decorating your cell in prison. So within the context of being worthless or not good enough, I'm living pretty well. I know when I'll be fed. I know, when I get to be outside. It's like, yeah, it's not free until that's insufferable in itself. And regardless of being good enough or even worthless, you take the step into freedom. You're willing to bear the pain that may come, the attack of the gods, of the demons from the past that say, oh no, you're going too far, you're overreaching. You really aren't good enough for that. I mean, you're good enough to exist, but you're not good enough for that. And so that's part of being free, is recognizing that's conditioning. That's the conditioned mind. And maybe you're even born with it. Maybe it's passed on somehow in the DNA. But it can really stop with you. That simply, too. And I don't necessarily mean easily, but that simply. It is a challenge of a lifetime to be free. Because then there's a recognition of it's not even about good enough or worth. It's free of that. And it's an unknown. It's not your little known cubicle where you go for your self-torture. It's an unknown. It's like, whoa, well, I don't know. What could be out there? Doesn't always feel so good. That's what makes it a radical choice. And many people will actually choose to go back into another nicer version of that until it just becomes insufferable. And whether I'm worthless or not, I have to be free. And that's what brings us together. That's when I appear in your life. That's when Papaji appears in your life, or Ramana. Because you're not given tasks to do to prove your worth. You're not given exercises to do to talk yourself into your worth. You are actually, as you are, free.